Hello, Dai here, and welcome to the June devlog for Prometheus Wept. So this month I've completed the food convoy mission as played from the malicious side, and before I go any further I'd like to talk about the early access release schedule for Prometheus Wept. So I've been increasing my working hours over the past 8 weeks in an attempt to release before the end of the year, and unfortunately no matter how many hours I throw at this point, it just isn't going to be possible. So in terms of the remaining work, first I need to do the rebel version of this mission, the food convoy. I'm expecting that should be completed around mid-August. And next there's the act finale, which can also be played from two sides, the rebel or the malicious side. Now it is difficult to estimate how long this will take, but it will be the most effort-intensive mission to date. My expectation is around 4 to 5 months to complete this, and that would bring us to around January of 2024. Now after this, I'll add some smaller encounters to develop the game world, and perhaps a voice intro for the story and the player team members. I'd also hope to add some of the Kickstarter backer content, the rewards for this, for those who will appear as a character or backed so they could add an item to the game. Now this will probably take me up to about February 2024. Then I'm estimating around 10 weeks for balancing, testing and contacting the game's press. Now so this probably brings the release schedule to likely April or May of 2024. Now if you've been patiently waiting for the game, I'm sorry for the delay, and I will continue to do my best with pushing the project forward. Now I have to be honest as well that I can't be absolutely sure that it will be out by May. Certain work can often turn out to be much more difficult than anticipated, but I will do my absolute best. So going back to the malicious food convoy mission. Now you start out by meeting up with the rest of the convoy, that is 2 veteran militia and a driver, before travelling on to Ralston Farm. So now the militia here are effectively they're kind of challenging your the fact that you're outside the command structure. So there's a couple of options you can try to use to get them to bring them into line. Now if you don't have a sufficient skill to pick these, it will hurt the group cohesion, which is sort of like a morale system that I've introduced for when you're taking control of larger groups. Okay, so you carry on to the Ralston Farm, and as you can see, the truck's partially loaded at this point. And you can wait until the food shipment is loaded. Now, the food shipment is taking longer than anticipated, just like something else. But it will get there eventually. So at this point you're ready to move out, and if you have sufficient tactics skill you can rest and depart in the morning to avoid travelling at night. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the first of the 3 combat encounters sees you have to basically get this truck off the map, and as you notice there's an obstruction here on the road, so you have the option to ram it or to stop. We'll just stop and see how that goes. And there are a couple of checks. Now I won't go through all of this. I'll let you check it out yourself, hopefully in a couple of months. But effectively what you've got here is an ambush. And if you have enough tactics skill, you can reposition your troops. So basically what you need to do is you're going to need to break through the obstruction and get to the end of the map. The truck will move a set number of tiles based on its damage, how damaged it is every turn, and you have to get your bring your own characters and the militia support you've got here. You have to help it get off the map. So it is kind of a new mission type, and it is one that's going to come up again in Act 2. So there was a bit of work, obviously, in getting this going, because you have the likes of the truck is the first non-1x1 size entity in the game. Like every other character is 1x1, so you have a bit of work in handling a character which takes up multiple tiles. So there's that, and the escort mission. So I'm going to get out of here. Let's see. I'll just load it in at. Okay, let's see. So after you get the truck off the map, you're going to have detour to a militia outpost, and you get some extra troops there, and you will be attacked twice. So in this situation, I've kind of done something kind of a bit out of the ordinary for this as well. You have a certain amount of time. So let's have a look here. So basically, you're awarded time units, and these are based on your character stats and the number of allies in your team, temporary allies that you've got. And based on those time units, and if you have sufficient skill, you can perform a number of actions to make the convoy easier to defend. So you can use engineering to destroy the bridge, and obviously this will double the movement cost of the characters that are trying to get across this way. You can use explosive to place primitive mines. You can see a couple of them there. This is the second fight. You can use leadership. You can place additional sandbags, and so there's a couple of choices in terms of what you can do here. So I will just I'll take out the bridge, and I have 4 time units remaining. So basically, the next two. The first mission is escorting the truck off the map. The next 2 are defending it at this militia outpost. And there's a couple of other options as well. You can dispatch one of the militia to Sunny Pines as a runner in order to report the attacks. And you'll also, as I said, have to manage the morale of your troops through making good decisions and skill checks. Now, something I've tried to build into this set of encounters is to develop a set of cat and mouse between the player character and Gardena, who is an awakened old world postal robot. We were basically constantly trying to outwit and counter one another's choices. So based on what you've done here, that will change the approach that Gardena takes in trying to take the food convoy off you. Now, it's worth mentioning you can lose the food convoy at any point, and if you do, that will have a pretty big knock-on effect in the act finale. So that's about it for this month. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.